Good morning, everyone. Parents, it's week 7, Tuesday, day number 32. Just some advice, maybe a little encouragement. Take it one day at a time. I know some days are not easy. Same in my house. Do what you can do and always try to focus on the positive. Use the report card as a guide. If you can only get to one thing, look for what they might be lacking. So if they're below grade level in reading, work on reading. Same with math. If you see there's a problem or area in math, work on that when you have time. The calendar is very helpful and can guide you through too. And if there's days you didn't get to, you can always go back to that. All right? I'm here, as always, to support and help however I can. And kids, it is 5/5/2020. So it's kind of a fun date. 5/5/2020. May 5th, 2020. Good morning, friends. Today, for your read aloud, it's Juneteenth, and they're going to talk about that being a real word or not. So, and then read on your own 20 to 30 minutes. It is very deceiving. The sun is out, and it looks like it's a warm day and a great day to be outside, but it is actually very chilly. There was ice on the water in the barn this morning, so I had to break through a little of that to get things started. All right? Today we're going to write, and they want you to talk about the beginning of a narrative story. And it reminded me a little bit of how we have broke the story down earlier in the year. Character, setting, problem, fixing the problem, and ending. So the characters and the setting are kind of how it's introduced, and that's usually in the beginning. So think about the characters in the story and how the setting is set up. And I think that'll help you when you're talking about the beginning of your story. Problems and solutions, or fixing the problem, are usually in the middle. All right, they introduce the problem and how they're going to fix it. And in the ending, that would be your ending. All right, which we'll talk more about later in the week. So for spelling, on the calendar they have you do a word hunt, but you can do your words in color 3 times each, bubble letters, anything that'll work. But there are some sites out there where they can create a word search, or you can create one on your own. Math, today is extra math and iReady. So if you can get in there, I noticed 5 kids, I think, got on extra math last week, which is okay. And some devices don't lend themselves well to work in that, on that. But if you can, get on. It'll help with your fact fluency. And iReady moves you along at your level. So if you miss some, they'll have you practice that a little bit more. If you get it correct, they'll move you on to the next concept or something a little bit harder. Okay? And I can see all the results from extra math and iReady. So that helps me to decide what we should do maybe on my videos, or how we'll help you when you come back to school. All right? Let's talk about Kira. And yesterday, Kira is drawing. She likes to draw. She draws a rectangle with 5 columns of 3. Draw a picture, repeated addition sentence, and an answer statement. We're going to be doing a lot of drawing this week, and for your turn-in assignment on Friday that's highlighted, there's lots of drawing and partitioning. And a partition is, let's show you what I worked on before I started. So Kira's rectangle has 15 boxes. That's my answer statement. But a partition is these lines. You try to make them as even as possible, but I'm not a great artist, and sometimes if you don't take your time, but I drew them as neatly as I could. So if you needed to have, it said Kira has 5 columns. So I know I need to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns, because columns go up and down. You need 4 partitions to make 5 columns. Partition 1, partition 2, partition 3, partition 4, and that made 5 columns. And then I need 3 boxes, so I need 1 less partition. So 1, 2, 3, or 3 rows. 1, 2, 3. So I have 1 partition, 2 partitions. Okay. Now, so I needed an answer statement, a drawing, a repeated addition sentence. 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 equals 15, or 5 groups of 3 equals 15. So there's 1 group of 3, 2 groups of 3, 3 groups of 3, 4 groups of 3, 5 groups of 3 equals 15. So let's say, for example, Kira was decided to draw or color in some of these boxes. This is going to be the next step. She colors in 4 rows of 3, or 3 rows of 3. So there's a row, a row, a row. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 3 rows of 3 is all she decided to color in. And I don't know if you can see that. Let me try to do it a little darker. The sun is shining in here today, which I'm not complaining. Is that showing up better? Yeah. So 3 rows of 3. She didn't use her whole rectangle, but that's okay. All right. So it might ask you to draw a rectangle this size and then only shade in 3 rows of 3. But we had 15, but we only used 3, 6, 9 boxes. All right. So they might have a bigger rectangle and only use part of it. Like I said yesterday, sometimes when your mom's making muffins, she may have a 12-hole muffin tin, but she only can make 9 because that's all the batter she had. Okay, so that's this kind of idea. So we drew it as 15, but we only used 9 of the boxes. It'll help you with what you're going to do for Friday if you think about drawing rectangles and partitioning them off. You can always look ahead. That's what I do as a teacher. I look ahead at what the assignment's going to be, and then if I need more practice on something to make sure I'm going to get to that end result or end product, then I work on that a little bit more. Drawing rectangles and partitioning and not using the whole rectangle is part of what we're going to be looking at all week this week. Okay, so we'll do some more drawing tomorrow. For today, I thought we would focus on, remember I said we can't forget about addition and subtraction, so I'm going to pose 2 problems for you. $400 minus 187 and 363 plus 498. Those are the 2 problems we'll look at for tomorrow. 400 minus 187, 363 plus 498. Remember, subtraction you can check. All right? We want to get that in at least once a week so we don't forget it. Okay? Addition and subtraction facts are important, and we're moving with our repeated addition towards multiplication facts, and they will be an important part of 3rd grade. Science, parts of this. Oh, and I forgot one thing too, so I'll come back to it. So we talked about yesterday how a seed's growing, and we're going to see if we can put some beans in a baggie, but guess what? I don't have beans. So I'm going to look for some seeds. I have some a seed organizer down there. I'm going to see what I have in there. I know I have sunflower seeds and maybe pumpkin seeds, but the beans will show this better. So we start with a root, which anchors it down, and then this seed pod feeds the leaves and the stem, and then it grows up. And so I thought we'd move on to the next step. And I happen to have parts of a flowering plant. And this is a bean. So the roots will get longer and sturdier to help the plant as it grows and gets larger. It needs to have more of an anchor down here. So this is the primary root. This is the primary stem. And here's some secondary roots way out here. So the primary root is the first by the base. Secondary roots reach out. They're like the fingers. Primary stem, fruit or seeds, so this is what it's growing, the beans. Here's a flower, that's what starts the bean. That's what the bean first is, a flower, then it turns into this fruit. Secondary stem, leaves, and this little dark spot right here is called the vein of the flower, or the leaf. All right? So we go from this little tiny seed that's just starting to grow a root to anchor it, and then the seed pod, which is feeding the leaves and the stem, all the way up to this huge plant, producing its own beans. All right? So we'll talk more about that, and I'm going to see about getting some beans and planting them so we can check them out. Guys, if I can do anything to help you out, please let me know. I do want to, my book recommendation, because you're supposed to read 20 to 30 minutes. That was supposed to be my cue to tell you about these. Are Pete the Cat. I know they were a favorite in our classroom. And we just read The Missing Cupcakes yesterday for one of our stories that we read here at home. So check out Pete the Cat. It's a fun read. And if you can read 20 or 30 minutes, especially on a cool day like today, the sun is out, but it's pretty cold. So might be a good day to curl up with a blanket and read. All right? Have a great night, guys. I will see you tomorrow. Thanks.